What are we all so afraid of? Oh, we are afraid of our shadows.
We're afraid we're not good enough to do certain things in life. We're afraid that we might do something wrong. We're just afraid of ourselves.
We're afraid of ourselves.
We're afraid of ourselves.
We're afraid we're not worthy. We're afraid we're not worth it.
I think we're afraid of knowing who we truly are.
We're afraid of what this world might do to us.
We are afraid of the darkness inside of us.
We're afraid we're broken and failures, and we'll be discovered, and then we'll be shamed and shot.
We're afraid of our power.
We are afraid of our inherent dignity.
What everyone is afraid of is just the simple process of life.
Fear prevents people from living to their fullest potential.
There is a price to pay to confront your own fears, your own anxieties, and to go deep within yourself. It is much easier to project it and to have enemies outside or people you dislike, or then you can project your problems and it's somebody else's fault.
I have to take ownership of my own life. I have to do something with that. I have to start living from within. I can't keep projecting, denying, hating, fearing. The whole game doesn't make any sense anymore. So I think we're very afraid of what I call the true self, our inherent dignity, the divine presence within us, because it burdens us with immense responsibility and an immense dignity that then we have to live up to.
I think what we're afraid of is our own lower selves as well. So we haven't come to terms with ourselves truly if we have fear within us. It's caused by ignorance and not understanding the workings of the Creator.
Fear comes from separation. When we have the experience of true love, there's no fear. When there is true love, you find that love actually makes people safe. It heals. It brings them closer to the creative power of the universe. It's the only reality.
So what are you going to do with that? How can you respond or be accountable to being loved into existence and cared for in nature and through other people?
If we live in a society that still orients very much to what I call the domination model, these rankings, top-down rankings, whether it's man over woman, man over nature, nation over nation, race over race, religion over religion, it's very tense. And everybody's always, and if you think that the only two possibilities are either dominating or being dominated, there's good reason to be afraid. If we recognize that there is another alternative, relations that are not equal in the sense of sameness, where people take turns making decisions, where people have relations based on mutual respect, mutual accountability, and yes, mutual empathy and caring, then we can build a world where there is real reason to have more trust. And all of us, well, many of us, try to build these enclaves, don't we, where we can feel safe. But it requires more of a partnership orientation.
We're all afraid to be ourselves. I think deep down, we're all afraid of being rejected, unloved, and we build all sorts of barriers around that to protect ourselves. But deep down, I believe that all of us want to be loved very dearly. We want to be accepted for who we are. We would really like to be ourselves without masks and roles. And to find that that's important. There's a tremendous amount of pain in the disguises that we wear, the roles that we play. And in some ways, we have to kind of go back and see that vulnerability is good, that weakness is okay.
We're afraid of the truth. People say we're looking for the truth, but the question is, what happened when we meet the truth? What happened? What is the reaction? So the same with this guy coming to he was really in time of uncertainty and doubts, and he was looking for answers. So he went to his teacher, his guru, and he said, Master, maybe you can show me, I need to solve this and this problem. And the guru said, I think this is what you should do. Now this man walked out, scratching his head and saying, I don't like this answer. And then from there you go to look for another teacher. So the answer is that we're afraid of the truth. We're afraid to find out who we really are. Because obviously we come here with baggage. And the reason why we're here is not a bonus or a reward. We're here to work.
In the world, in business, we sell fear. In religious, we also sell fear. So everybody are so afraid of so many things. Okay? In a business way, they sell life insurance because we are afraid of dying. They sell health insurance because we're afraid of getting sick. And in the religious, they sell the position in the heaven because after we die, we're afraid we are suffering. So there are so many frightenedness of fear selling in the world because there is a bigger business. Selling concept that you do this, you go to heaven, you do that, you go to hell. You don't need money. You can keep on selling the same concept over and over and over. After you die, if you give donation, help people do this and do that, you go to heaven, you have very high positions. If you don't do this and you're suffering and you hate people, you do that, you go to hell and you're going to be punished forever, you're going to burn in a fire forever. So people are afraid of this, of something we call scare tactic.
What everyone is afraid of is just the simple process of life. If you live here, if you want life to happen to you, you must understand death also has to happen to you. So the fear isn't just this, you accept one part of the life, you are unable to come to terms with other part of the life. If you want to succeed, you must also know that you could fail. You accept one part of it, you cannot accept the other part of it. An unrealistic perception of life is the basis of fear. People are not willing to live, people are not willing to die. That is their whole predicament right now. The fear is simply because you're not living with life, you're living in your mind. Your fear is always about what's going to happen next. That means your fear is always about that which does not exist. If your fear is about the non-existent, your fear is 100% imaginary. If you're suffering the non-existential, we call that insanity. So, people may be in just socially accepted levels of insanity, but if you're afraid or if you're suffering anything which does not exist, it amounts to insanity, isn't it? People are always suffering, either what happened yesterday or what may happen tomorrow. So your suffering is always about that which does not exist, simply because you're not rooted in reality. You're always rooted in your mind. Mind is… one part of it is memory, another part of it is imagination. Both of them are in one way imagination, because both of them don't exist right now. You're lost in your imagination, that's the basis of your fear. If you were rooted in reality, there would be no fear.